Hello, everyone. Paul McGuire Grimes. It's all come down to this. Our final girl, Laurie Strode, versus Michael Myers for one last battle in Halloween Ends. It will be in theaters and streaming on Peacock, and I want to talk about it. This is Paul's trip to the movies. It's been 4 years since Michael Myers returned, wreaking havoc on Laurie Strode's life. He attacked the town of Haddonfield and killed Laurie's daughter, but hasn't been seen since then. Jamie Lee Curtis is back for her final turn as Laurie, who has tried to move on from the 40 years of trauma. She's now writing a book as part of her therapy, and she's generally in a happier place. Her granddaughter Allison, who's played by Andi Matichak, works at Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, and it's there where she meets Corey Cunningham, who's played by Rohan Campbell. He's a patient her age who comes with his own traumatic past thanks to a tragic night of babysitting. Now he and Laurie have become town outcasts as their communities have really turned on them, blaming them for the sins of the past. Halloween night becomes one they'll never forget when Michael Myers returns and forever changes the lives of Laurie, Allison, and Corey. This film also marks the return of Kyle Richards, Will Patton, and James Jude Courtney. Halloween Ends marks the final film in this new Halloween trilogy written and directed by David Gordon Green. And just to recap, this was made as a direct sequel to the original 1978 classic from John Carpenter and has really ignored all of the other sequels in the franchise. Now, like most trilogies, each film here has had a really distinct and different vibe and look to it. Ends takes place 4 years after the events of the first two films, and a majority of the cast has already been killed off, and we're really seeing Laurie in a healthier headspace. Green has even written in some intentional humor along the way with how Laurie reacts to her new outlook on life. It's quite refreshing knowing the state of trauma that she's been living in. And it then makes that mental shift all the more jarring when she has moments of relapse. David Gordon Green knows he has to do something radically different with this film, as it can't just be about the return of Michael Myers on Halloween, killing babysitters all over again. Even one character states, Michael Myers kills babysitters, not kids. Now, if Halloween Kills brought out that mob mentality with a community taking back its town, Halloween Ends then takes a look at what happens when that very community then turns on its own survivors. We see Laurie repeatedly fending off others who are blaming her for Michael Myers' return. We see Corey Cunningham mentally shattered and being bullied by 4 teens. They're both connected in that way, and then have taken very different approaches to then what happens next. Now, if you're looking for those slasher flick kills, the majority of them come in the final third act. The kills are brutal and as gruesome as you'd expect if you saw Kills. Green has really shied away from the minimalist approach that the original had back in 1978. The opening scene is quite startling and will certainly have that loud audience reaction. Now, I then don't know how they will feel about the whole middle section of the movie, as that is where there is this distinct character evolution in its treatment of the Corey character, and what happens when he is then pushed to an absolute breaking point. David Gordon Green takes a massive swing with making Corey such a central figure here in this movie. Now, I won't spoil it, but Green's choices haven't been seen in a Halloween movie to date. Audiences, especially Halloween fans, will have really strong thoughts on this. Now, I am torn if I think that this is a strong choice or if it's something else should have happened. Most Halloween fans are here for the final showdown between our final girl, Laurie Strode, and Michael Myers. And Jamie Lee Curtis really brings all of herself to this role one last time, even finding new shades of where we find Laurie. Now, the ending is not for the faint of heart or those that get queasy easily. The film comes with that closure for these characters that we've come to love, even if David Gordon Green takes a little bit of a divisive route to get there. He really shakes up the expectations that the audience has coming in, and just when you think that something's going to happen, he then pivots. It's really hard to do that successfully with the end of a trilogy, especially one that then stems from a larger franchise. And I applaud his efforts, even if the diehard fan in me questions a few of his artistic choices. Fans should look for little Easter eggs and references to the other Halloween movies, and there are some distinct nods and 2 montages that just encapsulates the Laurie Michael journey. I'm giving Halloween Ends 3 out of 5 ticket stubs. If you like my review today, click subscribe on my YouTube channel. I got some movie reviews, as well as my interview with Jamie Lee Curtis. Again, this was from last year when Halloween Kills came out, but it just has been one of my favorite interviews so far. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Paul's Movie Trip. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts on the entire Halloween franchise, and then go to my website, paulstriptothemovies.com, for even more reviews and a ranking of all of the Halloween movies so far. Thank you so much for watching my review of Halloween Ends. This is Paul's Trip to the Movies.